Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to kind of take you through my presentation and why I say what I say, when I do it, so on and so forth. So you'll notice the very first thing when Rick came in with the camera, what I try to do, if possible, I try and get him down into this area a little bit. Now, it's a little bit tougher here because I got this pole in the way. But the reason I like getting them down in here, couple things. First of all, I'm right in front of the sign. So if there's somebody that came in that's just a drive-by or whatever, I can point to the shirt and say, you can probably tell, I don't know if you had a chance to see the signs out front, but you can probably tell, blah, 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 we're very different from a regular store. Brings up a very good point. When it's a drive-by, the reason I say, I don't know if you had a chance to read the signs out front, but we're actually, you can tell, blah, 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 rather than saying, did you read the signs out front? As soon as you give the customer the opportunity to take over the conversation, they're going to. So you don't want to ask an open-ended question. What I did is I kind of asked the question, but more than anything, I made a statement. I don't know if you had a chance to read the signs out front, but you can probably tell by looking around, we're very different from a regular store, okay? The no bull, all right, what that does is when somebody comes in that's never seen us before, this is very different from what they're going to find in a regular store. The reason I came up with no bull is it inherently says we're different. It's not like they're coming in and saying sale, sale, sale all over the place. That's what they're seeing at the regular stores. It's very easy when somebody comes in and say, I don't know if you had a chance to read the signs out front, but you can probably tell by looking around we're actually very different from a regular store. A little bit of a chuckle there, okay? It shows that we're friendly, playful, and yeah, it is kind of funny. I got a bull on my shirt that says no bull and so on and so forth. The reason for that is it says we're different and I'm telling them they're different. So now they're thinking to themselves, wow, okay, they really are different. Let's see how. So then that leads you into, you'd notice that I did a couple different stories here. I said on one of them I said we're actually a wholesaler. I did that because 4 of our stores really are wholesalers. Okay, so that's a great story for them to use. That's a very easy one for people to understand. Now you notice when I used the wholesaler one, I said we're actually a wholesaler. We service hotel association, condos, condo associations, hotels and motels, and you'll notice I stumbled through that because I don't use that because we're not one here. Point being, the operative word afterwards is to say, but while we're here, we actually allow the public to buy the mattresses from us at the same price. Allow is the operative word. Allow is very powerful. It makes the customer feel like, wow, I'm really lucky that I ran into these guys. I'm going to be allowed to buy at wholesale prices. Okay, so you get all that. Point being, you want to get through everything. Now, here's another thing that you'll notice that I do a lot. When Rick came in, one time I sat down on the bed. This is a good non-threatening, laid-back approach. With some people, I like doing this. Also, I do this sometimes to try and get them to come down this way when I'm trying to do that. Oftentimes, you'll see me do that, okay? Just out of curiosity, how'd you guys hear about us, okay? It feels kind of off the, shooting from the hip kind of thing. Hey guys, how you doing? A little lighthearted. Have you been here before? No, okay. How'd you hear about us? Okay, cool. It also grabs their attention, okay? You'll notice that I do that a lot. When somebody's here, I'll say, now just so you know, okay, just to let you know how the room is laid out, that right there, that motion, grabs their attention. Just to let you know how the room is laid out, they go from my least expensive up to my most expensive. I definitely prefer laying out the room first and then the price signs. Reason for that is, when a customer comes in, you just went through a little bit of a salesy pitch by telling them who we are and that kind of thing. Now, they just want functionality. Functionality is, let me just let you know how the room is laid out. Can't have any objection to that. They want to know how the room is laid out. Okay, so I like laying out the room first, just to let you know how the room is laid out. They go from my least expensive down here up to my most expensive. Oftentimes I will do it twice. If the person is not paying attention to me, okay, once I see their eyes come back around to this way, I'll say, so conversely, they go from my most expensive down, 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 down to my least expensive. And focus in on the price sign. You don't have to go from price to price to price. Just get in front of the 1 or 2 that you like the best. I like these 2 the best because they're still very reasonable queen size prices at $400 but they're really nice looking also. The next one that I go to, if it's convenient for you, I like the 9-inch thick Euro top. Still a decent looking mattress, but you're down in that $325 range. So you want to be in this price range. You don't want to be showing them your most expensive mattresses. bad price point. They're gonna shut down emotionally and mentally if you're in front of an expensive price point. So get them right in here. Now you'll notice, as soon as I got here, I said, just let you know how the pricing, again, I'm bringing them back in, just to let you know how the pricing lays out. These are the exact same prices that you saw on the website, okay? This price right here, now you'll notice I'm pointing to it and I'm going up and down this thing. I want them to be paying attention to what I'm doing. These are the prices you're gonna find in a regular store. This is actually the average retail price in Charleston County. That's a very powerful thing to say. Why? This just says regular store price, but when I say this is actually the average retail price in Charleston County for this kind of mattress, that sounds very authoritative. It sounds like we did a lot of research and this is actually the average retail price in Charleston County for this kind of mattress. That sounds like that's real. That's actually the case. Then you notice I came over here and did the same thing with this one. This right here, this is our warehouse price. Again, I'm pointing right to it, all right? This price includes, again, grabbing them, includes mattress, box spring, and free delivery. Now, first of all, you'll notice I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't done presentations in about 4 months, so I'm not as good as I have been or whatever, but you give me 15 minutes of doing this and I get right back into the same rhythm because I say the exact same thing every time. Anyway, this price right here includes mattress, box spring, and free delivery. Say this slowly. Let them get it. Let them digest it. Otherwise, they're not going to hear you. They're not going to make sense of it, and they're going to be asking questions later. It's important to get this right the first time. Our presentation has an enormous amount of information in a very short period of time. Why? You're one person running a store. If you've got 4 groups of people in here, you got to be able to fire out your information, say it with conviction, say it right, say it powerfully so that you can move on to the next person. It's got to be the exact same every single time. That's why it's helpful to always be in front of the same mattress every time. Anyway, this right here includes, again, grab a mattress, box spring, and free delivery. This guy right here in parentheses, again, I'm pointing to it up and down the thing. This one in parentheses, that's if you don't need the box spring, okay? So this is mattress and box, this is mattress only. Now, just so you know, and you'll notice I say that a lot, just so you know, again, hands out in front of you, grabbing them a little bit, just so you know, what that means is I'm getting ready to just give you some information. I'm not trying to sell you anything, just so you know, this guy right here is shown in a queen size. Okay, say that again, say it slowly. It's shown in a queen size so that they understand what you're saying. However, this is available in twin, full, queen, and king. All the mattresses are available in twin, full, queen, and king. You gotta let them know that. Sometimes they're like, where are your kings at? Well, I can tell that you didn't do your presentation right because they didn't understand that this one comes in all the different sizes. Lastly, and all of them have these foot guards on them, point to them, okay? Pat on it so that they understand what the hell you're talking about. All of them have foot guards on them so you can lay down on the mattress. As you can see, I like demonstrating. People feel a lot more comfortable rolling around on a mattress if they've seen you already do it, okay? If you got the time, it's a great visual to lay down on the mattress. Makes them feel more comfortable. Anyway, all of them have these foot guards on them so you can lay down on the mattress, really test everything out, okay? Doesn't do you any good to just come up and point on this thing. That's gonna make them feel silly by doing that if they've seen you make fun of people that do that. Okay, here's the most powerful thing that we do. Once you get to this point, you ask. So just out of pure curiosity, what size are you looking for? They say queen size. Okay, cool. Just out of pure curiosity, is this something you were hoping to have sooner rather than later? Or do you really not even care when you get it? It's good for a guest room or something like that. As soon as they say, no, we're not in any rush, but yeah, once we settle on the one we'd like to have it as soon as possible. Okay, here's what you do. No matter what their response is, even if they say, don't need it for 2 weeks, you say, okay, that's totally cool. I'm gonna check my inventory real quick, find out if we're out of anything. Okay, best thing to do is just kind of roll around on all the different mattresses, pick out the one you like the best, take a step or 2 back, and then turn back around and say, folks, just so you know, okay, our prices really speak for themselves here, so we just kind of let the customer do their own thing, all right? The reason this is so important, a couple things. First of all, you do want to find out what your inventory is because you need to let them know if you're out of something. There's nothing worse than a customer falling in love with a mattress you don't have, and then they go someplace else because they don't want to settle for something else. That's number one. Number two, you need to release the customer. You need to get away from them, A, so that you can start doing your own thing, B, so you're not hovering over them, But see, the most important is you're showing them that you're comfortable enough in your prices, you don't have to sell them anything, okay? But you have to give them a reason why you're releasing them. If you don't give them a reason and you just say, my name's John, just let me know if y'all have any questions. Now what you're doing is you're putting up a barrier between you and them. You're going back to your area. You're leaving them out in their area. There's now a barrier between you. Why? Because you're basically telling them, I'm tired of talking to you. I've got something else to do. So I'm leaving you, and I'm not even giving you a reason why I'm leaving you. Whereas when you say, okay, you look for a queen size and you're hoping to have it by tomorrow, okay, great. Let me check my inventory real quick. I need to find out if I'm out of anything, okay? Best thing to do is just kind of roll around on everything. I'll be right back, I'm gonna check my inventory. You turn around, showing them that you're gonna leave them alone, but then you turn back around as though this is something that just occurred to you, okay? When you do it this way, it sounds less scripted, okay? So you turn back around and say, just so you know, folks, our prices really speak for themselves, so we just kind of let the customer do their own thing here, okay? We don't mean to be inattentive, all right? We just we don't want to hover over you like the regular stores do. The prices speak for themselves so that we don't have to. So feel free to just kind of roll around on everything, pick out the one you like the best. I'm going to check out my inventory, okay? What I just did is I released them. I showed them we're confident enough in our prices that we don't need to sell you anything. I told you that the prices speak for themselves. That is so incredibly powerful. Hey, look, Mr. Customer, our prices are so freaking awesome. They speak for themselves. So I'm not going to hover over you because you either get it or you don't. And if you don't get it, there's nothing I can do to make you smarter. So the prices speak for themselves. Feel free to just kind of roll around on everything. We don't mean to be inattentive. That means I don't want to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not going to hover over you because the prices speak for themselves, and you probably like it that way anyway, but I don't say all those things. I'm just implying all that. Now, here's the key. Once you have released them completely, all right, you go back to your thing, keep talking to them. I mean, not like nonstop, but every once in a while, holler something out. Most important thing is, as you're sitting there, okay, customers laying on this mattress or whatever, you're sitting there. You'll notice if you watch our security tapes, I do this all the time. If I've left the customer sitting there for 45 seconds or whatever, I'll just say, I'll be talking to them about stuff, and then there'll be a little bit of a silence for 20 seconds or whatever. I'll say, now holler out now if y'all got any questions. I don't mean to be inattentive. We just kind of let the customer do their own thing. I'll do that, and they'll say, no, it's totally cool. And I'll continue to pretend as though I'm busy here, and then I'll go back here and pretend to be doing something busy back here, whatever this is, I'll straighten up a mattress or something, and then I'll come back around, and I'll come back and sit down over here. I'm pretending as though I'm busy, pretending as though I'm doing something, so on and so forth. Customer's still laying there. Now let's just pretend as though another minute has gone by, okay? And I'll actually get up and I'll pretend to be doing something out here. I'll say, hey folks, just seriously, I don't mean to be inattentive. It's just if y'all have any questions, give me a holler now. Holler out if you got any questions. I'll come over here and pretend like I'm doing something over here. I'll grab the remote control for the open sign and make sure that I've got it on, even though I know I've got it on. Or I'll come out here and check to see if it's on. Again, all I'm doing is I'm creating a reason to walk by them and say, all right, if you got any questions now, blah, blah, so on and so forth. Now, that's pretty much all we do until somebody says, I think I want that one. But you got to, I'd say you want to holler out if you got any questions now. I'd say you probably want to do that every minute for the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then decrease the frequency down. I haven't timed this, but I'm guessing, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and just kind of keep hollering out that same, holler out if you got any questions now or whatever. Now, if you ever want to try to help somebody start taking ownership, the only thing I would ever say is if I notice somebody keeps going back to the same particular mattress, I'll just kind of, as I'm walking by doing something, I'll say, I notice you keep going back to that one. And they'll say, yeah, I like this one a lot. Now you're helping them take ownership of it. But aside from that, we don't want to do any selling. We don't want to do, and here's another thing that's really important. Guys, do not make suggestions. Ever, ever, ever. You notice when Rick said he's looking for the most firm mattress I've got, what did I do? First thing I did is I backed out and I made sure that he gets it. I need him to understand everything rather than just taking him to my most firm mattress that's doing me no good. We don't sell people things here. We don't sell them on things. The only thing we sell them on is our story. If they get it, if we've done the job of letting them know what's really going on here, they turn into walking, talking billboards for the store. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. We're not trying to sell them one mattress. We're trying to sell them on our entire business concept. So he asked for the most firm one. I had to back him out, had to go through the entire story, lay out the entire room, let him know, hey, just because somebody says they want a firm, more often than not, what they're really saying is they want something supportive. You saw how I did all that. Bottom line is, you're trying to open up more options to them. You don't want them to get on that one and say, well, this is their firm one. I don't like this. Okay, thanks for your time. And they walk away. You don't want to do that. You want to open up the room to as many options as you can. Next time I'll probably try and do some objections. About the biggest ones I can think of are, what are your manufacturers? Do you carry Sealy, Serta, so on and so forth? I don't have time to do that now. So thanks.